work so hard, and the music keeps on playing, and the people never say we are mash up the dance. Oh, what a feeling! Don't stop dreaming. Keep on believing in the power of the feeling. Whatever you want, take a chance. Song in your heart, step in your dance. You got a spark, don't put it down. Shine your lights on.
Tune in to Lead Story, weekdays at 6 p.m. Hosted by Jodianne Quarry.
Brought to you by
Horizon, a new loan product from Access Financial Services.
Hi, I am Kendi Pang.
Watagwan. 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 Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 a.m., 1:30 p.m., and 10 p.m. on CVMTV.
Let's delve deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orchid, and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yes.
Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVMTV.
So much more than entertainment.
Hi, I am Kendi Pang.
Watagwan. Watagwan. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 a.m., 1:30 p.m., and 10 p.m. on CVMTV.
Strength of a woman. When we say strength of a woman, oh my goodness, a resplendent morning to all the women in Jamaica, all the women across the world, locked and loaded to sunrise on a beautiful Monday morning like this. To all the mothers, the daughters, the nieces, you know what I mean, the grandmas, the great grandmas, the sisters, the neighbors who are female, the mommies, you know what I mean. Good morning to every woman all across the world this morning. It's happy International Women's Day belatedly, albeit, but we still had to acknowledge all the beautiful women, all the women here at CVM,
That's
right?
right.
Broadcast
That's
house, right?
Yeah.
In every sphere, right? Whether it be administrative, whether it be a presenter, ancillary staff, front desk, it doesn't even matter. As long as you're female, we say good morning to you. You are a blessing to the world. And women, we definitely add that je ne sais quoi, if you will, to life as it is. And so we just want to say good morning to all of you. You are a woman. You're strong, you're beautiful, you're resilient, you're tenacious, and we absolutely respect and love you guys. Yeah.
Are you one of those people who thinks that the definition of woman is as malleable as people are saying it is now?
It's more malleable now, but there are still certain things that are entrenched and that are expected. But I think that women have become more autonomous in terms of defining woman for themselves and their individuality. And though it will take time, because since time immemorial, there have been certain designations which, you know, you still can't shake it. But
in terms of role and function?
Yeah, in terms of role and function.
Okay.
But women...
No, but may I talk like definition of what is a woman?
Well, I think that is individualistic. I think it has become more malleable over time.
Yeah.
Not as rigid. And so women are owning their, just even the fact of women choosing not to have children. Once upon a time, that wasn't even a discussion. You would even have a woman who admitted that publicly. You know what I mean? Even if you feel in your heart, nah, say so. You know, women who are saying, I don't want to get married. Women who are saying, I'm happy being single. Women who are saying, listen, I want to live on my terms. Back in the day, or once upon a time, women would never admit that. But you have more women stepping out. And I think that I have, in my own way, created a space where women can voice or be the voice of some women who feel disenfranchised and to say the things that may ruffle feathers. But that's how we live, you know. Women are stepping out, wanting to become entrepreneurs, wanting to choose motherhood later in life because that may suit them. Is what happened.
I should have, no, me just realize. Sorry, I stopped listening. No, it's mad. Yo, this mad.
You know something about cry for Dennis right now?
Sorry, my mind, you know.
After I'm in my thesis statement, right? I'm giving my...
No, I'm just saying, no, I thought it was a shirt and a
sweater?
Yeah.
No,
but then I said, oh, this... Yo! And then, so the pants is a suit, is a full suit, or Jane found
no,
pants?
No, Jane, it's a suit. It's okay. Let me show you again because
sorry.
I don't know.
Sorry,
because I'm talking and I'm like, why is Dennis distracted? What's going on? I'm like, is there something in my teeth? I know there's not.
No,
right?
man, me love it,
Patrick,
man.
You love it.
Me love it.
Beautiful, thank you.
Me love it.
It's Deanna Lux, okay? Right there at Eastwood Park Plaza off Eastwood Park Road. Hi, Deanna. Good morning. Yes, thank you so much for your kind compliment, Dennis. Yes, I love this color.
No, man, it's nice. It's bad.
Guys, rate outfit.
Take this one.
Rate outfit.
Yeah, man, this can wear again.
Yeah. Rate the outfit, guys. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's International Women's Day belatedly. Yes.
No, man, it's a good Women's Day
Thank
outfit.
you.
Yeah, man.
Thank you. Thanks to Jane Michelle.
Have that professional something about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it can't jazz up, it can't jazz down. I'm wearing it with heels right now. You can literally wear it with a sneaker if you want.
Yes, I could see you wearing like Air Force Ones with the same color scheme.
Again, this is a nice Parent Day outfit, Parent Teachers Meeting outfit. You're going to see the teacher. You're going to check up on your child. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But thank you for noticing.
And the makeup look nice too. And then the lipstick just boom bang bang with it back.
It just
and you know we can't talk fashion.
And you know what happened? Yeah. You see that dialogue there? It was understood.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So thank you, sir.
Yeah.
So Jermaine for the makeup, J Pal, good morning. Yeah. Tanisha for the hair, Tens Beauty Palace, yes. And Jane Michelle for the outfit from Rihanna.
You see Ten do Miss Maureen for the funeral Saturday?
No. Remember Saturday I was so caught up.
True. I showed them the pictures.
Oh, okay.
At the birthday party. I showed Ten how she fixed up Miss Maureen because Miss Maureen got funeral. So my mother-in-law, has become a Miss Ted customer.
Yeah, I heard about that. Good morning, Mrs. Ten from M10 in Vineyard.
Sorry, not Mrs. Ten. Tanisha.
Oh, okay, that 10.
10,
okay.
yeah.
But good morning to Mrs.
10.
Yeah.
Morning, yes.
And,
And the fish was great, Mrs. 10.
No, and you know what? Mrs. 10 is one of those women that I so admire.
Yes.
Because at her age and
Rock of
stage,
Gibraltar, you know.
she is the rock of Gibraltar.
Yeah,
when you talk
man.
about ambitious, agile, hardworking, dedicated, Auntie, I love you. She's like my second mom. I tell people she's my second mom. And she's just absolutely amazing. And I say at her age, if she can still be working the way she does, applying herself, giving, taking care of so many people, it is quite admirable. And she can sit down and lie down.
Yeah, she could, but she's not.
No.
Yeah. I do have the picture.
Yeah,
You want to pick up some people?
Well, another woman that I admire greatly, and everybody knows this, but I can't say it enough times, right? My mom, Lady March OD, one of the women that I admire. Hey,
Lady March.
One of the women that I admire a lot in my life, and she has been my rock, and she has been an example of excellence, again, drive, tenacity, and really just being a go-getter, you know what I mean? So I absolutely love my mom. And my sister, Jodianne, Mrs. Jodianne Forrest, RN, BSN, RN, also a hardworking young woman, wife and mother, but still went to, well, this is our third degree. I say, you can't don't know, Jodianne, we're not telling a lie to her as a person. You can't, you know, because
big up.
I had third degree this. You can't finish now.
Well, you know, and I have a big up and I wife.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go, Suzanne.
Suzanne
Good
Wilson
morning.
Brooks. Good morning.
Nice. Very beautiful.
Yeah, I took that picture.
You take everybody picture of this. I just
She just look, I said, twirl, baby.
But let me ask you, Dennis, what about...
I took that picture.
Oh, nice. And that's 10, another
That's
10 production.
Yeah, both of them were actually.
Nice.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I took that picture.
Yeah. The women in your life, Dennis, well, you're highlighting your wife now.
Yeah, but of course my mom too is so important, critical.
Give me 3 qualities that you admire
Miss Joy,
about them.
Strong.
Yeah.
Strong.
Watch Miss Joy, man.
Dedicated.
You see regal? You see the regal?
Yes, man.
Jesus.
You know them teacher that she teach.
She look like Winnie Mandela best friend right now. So. Like, yeah.
Hey, watch Miss Maureen.
Hey!
This stage, she got her funeral sat there.
Art. Love
she
it.
She said everybody talk about, not Miss Ted, sorry, Tanisha.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
I love that. I really appreciate the women in our lives because, you know, they're like my grandmother.
Yeah, the strength of character.
Yes.
And they all have this thing where, you know, because not everybody, like my wife and my mom, they have this character. Not everybody in the family is going to be the matriarch.
Yes.
Because you have women who are not, you know, the queen mother of the family.
Yes.
But somehow, like, definitely, these 2 women, they are.
Yes.
That
like my
know?
grandmother of blessed memory, Mrs. Norma Clark, matriarch.
Yeah.
My great-grandmother of blessed memory, Edna White, them one they are general. Ladies, as I tell you, I really can't really help it, you know.
You stay.
I'm staying, you know. Because it's in my DNA.
Yeah.
Growing up, and that's why I have to be a general. You understand? That's why I have to
keep... I say she get that little way there.
And as I'm a high-effort mother, you understand?
Yeah.
Because my girl comes to my granny at work, my great-grandmother at work, my mother at work. We're go-getter. Nobody sit down and wait for a man with an hand like, oh, what a man is coming to do for me. No, we're not doing that.
No.
Nobody not ask what we bring to the table because we are the table.
Yeah.
From
you probably
Abel.
build the table.
Yes. You
probably build the table.
And you know what I also built? A beautiful daughter.
Hey.
Along with the King's Council, of course. Good morning, honey. Love you a lot. It's birthday party, guys.
No, it did nice. We're not gonna lie.
This episode of Bluey is called 88 Turns Tui. Dennis, I want to thank you for coming to the party with Jackson.
Yeah, man.
And I want to thank also Carlton and Lady Keisha and Shy Zane and of course Zuri.
Hey, on the fun, you pick them.
Yes.
Ball pit.
Ball pit. What's my husband saying? What is he saying? Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know. He was chatting with Keisha.
Yeah, he was. But it was so amazing. And I have to say thanks so very much to Shanna K. Pottinger from Skate Events and Tada McLean from The Blossom Concepts for bringing AA's birthday party alive. Guys, I tried to keep it small. Dennis, your mouth, your goat, rubber bush, your goat mouth. Right? But as a good mother, I just can't help it. I want to also say thanks to Fernandez Photography for the video. Big ups to Fernandez and to Marlon. And of course to Ryan for the cake, which is caking. And I brought a piece for your wife as well.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. And I must say the cake was very good. You know, I'm not really play with. I'm not fussing around cake. And plain cake. So I'm never eat plain cake just up, but trust me, cake bad.
Ryan did that.
Yeah?
Yeah, it turned to it.
Yeah, man. Anyway.
But thanks to everybody for your kind wishes. And you know what? We now have your morning pocket of Sunrise right here on Sunrise CVM. This episode of Bluey is called AA Turns Tui. Yay!
I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to.
She don't know she a keep. She's our blessing, and I'm just so happy to have her. She has just made our world brighter, better in every way, and she's absolutely magnificent.
To AA, listen, all of this was for you because you are super special. As your mother would say, you're très magnifique.
Say yes to living the life you love with your family with health and life insurance from Sagicor Life. The time by Sagicor Life is
6:15.
Rainforest, I go give you plenty healthy ways to switch up your meals. Fresh flavor that me need. More delicious moments every day of the week. And look how good me feel. Rainforest make it nice. Rainforest, I go make it nice.
Tune in to Lead Story. Weekdays at 6 p.m. Hosted by Jody Ann Quarry.
brought to you by Horizon, a new loan product from Access Financial Services.
This is Flow, Jamaica's fastest mobile network, as verified by Ookla. It's the result of a complete network rebuild, with more power backup to reduce outages and satellite backup for greater mobile stability. You can even make regular calls using Wi-Fi. Welcome to our new era of connectivity, and we're not stopping there. This is Flow, Jamaica's network.
It's tax time. There are now 2 due dates for filing final income tax returns. All personal income tax returns, such as self-employed persons, individuals, partners, and partnerships, must file and pay their income tax returns by March 16. For corporate bodies, your income tax return is now due April 15. The due dates for all estimated tax returns filings and quarterly payments remain the same: March 15, June 15, September 15, and December 15. Visit jamaicatax.gov.gm or call 888-TAX-HELP for details. Tax Administration Jamaica, working together to serve you even better.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVMTV.
So much more than entertainment.
Minutes after 6 on this Monday morning. We love Mondays over here. We're coming to you live from Kingston City, 69 Constant Spring Road.
That's right.
Good morning to you. You know what time it is when you see us sitting like this. You know it's time for our explosive queen of morning headlines, Teeks. This lady who's having an explosive morning.
It's been an explosive weekend. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's so wonderful to see each of you. We're going to go through the headlines.
Exploding onto the scene before we go onto the scene.
Very quickly this morning, if you don't mind.
What, you seem in a hurry this morning.
I don't know why you'd say that.
You have a flight to catch?
I mean, you know, I just have a little appointment.
Oh, that's a
like, she wants to take off.
Like, hurry up, let's.
Do you have any women in your life who you want to pick up?
You know, other than the you know, mommy and the Auntie Jeans and the, you know, all these people, you know who, it wasn't until later in life that I realized the impact that this woman had on me, which is Mrs. Pamela Harrison, former principal of Woolmer's Girls. At the time, you know, we used to think, Lord, this lady miserable. Or, Lord, look how she's strict and we can't do nothing and she just But now when you look back, it's amazing how when you look back at your life and the people in your life, you realize,
tough love.
That love that she gave us, that example that she showed us, those rules that she put in place really helped us to navigate the world and the future and to know success. So Mrs. Harrison, you know, who passed away, so, you know, love to her family and everybody impacted by her.
She passed away a few years, like recently?
Very recently. It was about 3 years ago. I went to the funeral. And I think that everybody who knows Mrs. Harrison knows her for these. She used to say every day, ladies, you cannot be loud, raucous, and ordinary. Never be loud, raucous, and ordinary. So big up to the Woolmerians, who I'm sure that still rings in our ears even decades later, right?
Well, I like not be ordinary, but sometimes you have to loud miss. With all due respect. Especially in Jamaica, with Jamaica
sometimes
man.
I like a loud miss up a one.
She was saying you can't be all of them.
You can't do all of them.
Choose one.
Choose one or two.
If you're ordinary, be quiet.
I like good morning.
If you're loud, come on, don't be rude.
Yes, Mrs. Harrison, man, all the Woolmerians should know the impact of her. And then what I loved about her is that she really put things in place for the future. So she put Miss Montague in place. Miss Montague is an excellent principal. Saw her yesterday at the BK 5K, which I walked. I was going to run, but you know, I'm not lie for the people them TV.
Oh, wow, TK. That's
briskly walked.
Briskly. I should have gone there because Ricardo from Paradise at AA's party. I'm telling you, the chicken, the corn, the vegetables. Coming to say Uncle Dennis, I come to make sure I have vegetables. I got his fish. Make sure to have everything.
It was good.
Nice.
I said, wow, good morning.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
I went to BK yesterday, but for a different cause.
Oh, wow. Not to walk a 5K,
Not a 5K. 5-piece nuggets.
Hash brown.
Let us jump into the headlines. Let's see what's happening this morning, shall we? So government moves to clarify end of Cuba medical program. The government is moving to justify its decision to discontinue the Cuba-Jamaica Medical Corporation program, which for more than 5 decades brought Cuban doctors, nurses, and technicians to support the country's public health system. In a statement, Foreign Affairs Minister Kamina Johnson-Smith said the review of the arrangement uncovered concerns related to Jamaican labor and tax laws, including the fact that Cuban medical personnel were not initially in possession of their own passports and that their salaries were being paid by Jamaica to Cuban authorities in US dollars rather than directly to the workers themselves. The government said it began discussions with Cuban officials last July to restructure the program so that medical personnel would be paid directly and have full control of their travel documents in keeping with local laws and international labor conventions. However, officials say repeated attempts to reach an agreement went unanswered, leaving Jamaica unable to justify continuing the arrangement under its existing terms. While the United States has publicly raised concerns about Cuba's overseas medical programs globally, the government has maintained that its decision was based on legal compliance and fairness to workers. The development has nonetheless raised concerns among some Jamaicans about how the already strained healthcare system will manage without the Cuban medical brigade. Yeah.
When I first heard, of course, I mean, I was very disappointed because I know the relationship between Cuba and Jamaica is very strong, and I know that this program is very important. It was, you know, it's a legacy of our diplomatic past, but and I was wondering what was the reason behind it. I didn't jump to conclusions as many persons did, but the truth is that in the modern world, we've been having conversations about human trafficking, and even recently we were having a discussion. I can't remember where I was a part of a discussion that was talking about key features of human trafficking. One of the features of human trafficking is that the worker has no control over their travel documents, and that is something that people are clamping down on significantly. And also, who is receiving their pay? Is the person receiving their pay, or is the pay controlled by somebody else? And if you do not secure those two key features, I think that you're getting yourself into problem. But one thing I found interesting about the release that was sent out was that was that other countries in the Caribbean who have a similar arrangement, that feature where they don't have control of the passport and they don't get paid directly does not exist with those other Caribbean countries. And so I can't see, and I would love to hear Cuba's argument, I can't see why it wouldn't just fall in line with what is regionally established and global standard. And if you can't come to an agreement, then at what point do you realize that this is not working out? You know, so it's unfortunate, but I'd still like to see a repair of the relationship at some time in the future, but I don't know if there's a permanent decision or a temporary cessation, but it's most unfortunate. And I know I saw several persons, you know, dropping old clips of Michael Manley on TikTok and stuff like that, reminiscent. Of course, we associate that relationship with the period of democratic socialism of Jamaica. You know, and so, you know, kind of went down a trip down memory lane, but I think that the problem with the program is not historic, it's very much contemporary, so you have to find contemporary solutions.
Yeah, it feels like the end of an era, an important era, but, you know, let's see, like you said, let's see what happens, right? All right, so next up, oil prices surge amid Iran war. Global oil and gas prices are climbing rapidly as the escalating war involving the United States, Israel, and Iran shows no signs of easing. Energy markets have been rattled after attacks and retaliatory strikes disrupted key oil and gas facilities across the Middle East and slowed shipping through the Strait of Hormuz, a critical route through which about 20% of the world's oil supply normally passes. The ripple effects are already being felt globally. In Jamaica, officials say the situation is being closely monitored, warning that since the country imports most of its energy supplies, increases could affect electricity generation, transportation costs, and the price of goods and services across the island.
As expected.
As expected.
Yeah. I just hope there is no unnecessary price gouging or escalation of prices without due process and without cause, right? And everything must be done in a certain way, done legally, and also with conscience, you know what I mean? So this is not the time just to say, oh yeah, oil price gone up, you know what, me charge you $100, right now I'm just at $200. It's not a self-imposed, like, oh my God, you can just autonomously decide that this is gonna be your price. And I just hope that the government really monitors this, because at the end of the day, it is the ordinary man and woman and children who are affected by this, because some people will use an opportunity to just take advantage of a situation and steal a march because they can. And so I'm just asking people to be very conscientious in this regard.
And it's interesting to note how one thing can impact so many others. You know what I mean? So yes, it's gas prices, but then of course that includes now delivery prices, and then now delivery now moves up the cost of goods, and then the cost of goods moves up the cost of services. It's crazy, but we're hoping
just like the removal of the doctors, it's going to affect the hospitals, the treatment, the type of treatment, the
ability for people to access healthcare.
And I'm telling you, it's going to affect the ordinary Jamaican, because there are those who can fly out, there are those who can go private, but what about those citizens who are unable to pay for those services privately? You understand what I'm saying? So it's just a lot right now.
A lot.
The way the world are going right now, I just want to go in bed and go cover up. Like I just want to lie down and sleep. Go to wait when this done. Calm. But I just want a big sheet. But I just want to eat a big food. I just turn on my fan. You have your windy fan. I just turn on your windy fan and cover up and just go to my bed. I take $200, $2 contracts.
What the rest said? Told the world I go.
Go your bed. Yeah, man. Jamaica, stop. Take 2 Fenzik and go to sleep. Cause it's a lot right now. May I tell you, when you wake up in your right mind these days, you have to give God the praise. Thanks. I gotta tell you, because it is a lot with which to deal. But what were they? TK has squeezed our foot?
No, TK has a speaking engagement.
Okay, very well.
She has to run off to
in Cuba.
Park. She's going to Chatola Park.
All right, that's all the time we have for headlines this morning. Coming up next, we're talking women and wealth. You know, call my name, President. In Money Masterclass, brought to you by
Guardian Life.
That's right. We'll be right back. It's CVM Sunrise on a bright Monday morning.
Bright.
to Lead Story. Weekdays at 6 p.m. Hosted by Jodianne Quarry.
Brought to you by Horizon, a new loan product from Access Financial Services.
We are proud to supply all of Jamaica with the highest standard of gas products to keep you safe and well taken care of.
Hey, what I want?
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
Let's delve deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orchid and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yes. Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
Watagwan.
Watagwan. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 a.m., 1:30 p.m., and 10 p.m. on CVM TV.
Should critical illness strike, don't let worry fill your head. Say hello to happiness and goodbye to worry with Guardian Life's new Ultimate Provider Plan. Secure your medical expenses in the event of critical illness ahead of time while benefiting from more investment portfolio and so much more. Give yourself and your family the peace of mind you deserve with Guardian Life's new Ultimate Provider Plan today. And live secure, live easy.
Welcome back to Sunrise, and if today is your birthday, happy birthday to you. It is March 9, 2026. It is a bright Monday morning, and you know we're happy to be here for you. Good morning to all our wonderful viewers watching on our YouTube channel. Please do remember to hit the like and the subscribe button, and always do remember to spread the word. If it's your first time tuning in, thank you for joining us. I am your Queen Diva, Miss Kitty, and this is Uncle Dennis. And we have a very able, knowledgeable, you know what I mean, gentleman who is going to guide us through this morning's episode of Money Masterclass. Now, Jamaican women are some of the hardest working people, some of the hardest working women that you'll ever meet, running businesses, leading the boardroom, managing households, and still finding the time to make it all look effortless and seamless. But despite excelling in education and entrepreneurship, women are still earning significantly less than men on the average. So this morning, we're going to be asking an important question. How do we start closing the financial gap and building real, lasting wealth for women and girls? It's time for Money Masterclass, brought to you by
Guardian Life
and led by our financial principal educator, Mr. Carlton G. Stew, on all platforms. Good morning, Carlton Stewart.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing great this morning. How are you both doing?
I am doing magnificent. My eyes are a little closing, but I'm here, holding it.
But they're holding it down.
Yes.
Yeah. So we want to ask a very important question. It's Women's Month. So we want to ask the question. I heard Ms. Kitty mention just now, how do we close the gap?
Yeah.
But the first important question, is there a gap?
Yes.
And some persons will say, yes, there's a gap. Others will say, there's
how
no
big
gap.
Is the gap?
You know, how big is the gap? Or some will say there is no gap. So before I get into my data this morning, I want to ask you both, do you think there is a gap
Yes.
in the space now when it comes to pay first.
Yes.
Because we're talking about pay gap and a wealth gap. What are your
Pay
thoughts
and
before?
wealth gap.
So you think that
Big.
there is? Okay,
Yes.
Dennis?
I think it's not as straightforward. In the Jamaican context, I don't think that the international arguments hold water in the Jamaican context because women are far more educated. Women have a higher percentage of managers and leadership positions. So no.
But we not get the pay, Dennis.
I don't think so.
I think.
All right,
I don't think so.
Let's jump into the
I think
facts
so.
I don't
this
think so.
morning.
Especially as a qualified woman, you have some very unqualified men who are earning more than a lot of qualified women. I find that in our Jamaican context,
we want to jump into that to
Jamaican
see
men
why
are
and
allowed
how.
to fail forward.
Let's find out how this
It's a
morning,
boys' club.
if
Sorry,
what we
yeah.
feel is actually factual this morning. Let's jump to the facts. So here in Jamaica, and I'm break it down first, women earn about 10 to 30% less than men here in Jamaica, but I'm going to give the caveat shortly. And women earn 65% of what men earn, but however, in some sectors. All right, let's walk through that. Let's look at the wealth gap as well. Men have 4 times more wealth than women overall.
I agree.
Women retire with 74% less wealth than men.
Absolutely.
Women only account for 25% of investment accounts in investment banking systems, all right? So you have more men with investment accounts, while women save more than men. So we want to look at that, why there's a wealth gap there. So overall, women about 20-40% less when it comes to wealth than men. That's just the average here.
Then selling friend and rich.
But let's work down
you
why.
Hear that laugh there.
The rich laugh, I like that
The rich laugh, you hear it?
But
Please
why.
record it.
Because sometimes there is a disparity based upon how the information is presented.
Exactly.
So when it comes to the type of gaps, really, when it comes to a pay gap, you have the unadjusted and you have the adjusted. And that is how the data is actually presented. The unadjusted gap refers to they're comparing all men versus all women in the workforce, which is why you find the data presented with a bigger gap. So when you see the data sometimes in the headlines, men earning this or women earning less than that, it's from an unadjusted presentation of the data. Versus if it's an adjusted gap, what they're doing, they are comparing the same job between genders with the same qualification and the earnings. The data suggests that for every dollar a man earns, a woman earns 99.5. So really and truly, when it comes down in the Jamaican context here, for example, if you are just as qualified at the same level, the men and the women are earning in line. That's the data showing.
That's the point.
Because our labor, our act here does not allow, for example, in the school system, teachers, a man and a woman, if you are a primary school teacher, at the same qualification, at the same level, your salary is the same. In government sector, for example, if you are at SS3, for example, irrespective if you're a man or a woman, the earning is the same.
Right.
But what you will find is that the reason why there is a gap is because what you find more women who are, for example, in the workforce, they are more concentrated in a industry that actually earns less. And that's sometimes, I won't use the word by design, but how we were actually cultured.
And that is why you have men who are at SSM0 will get SS3 pay.
But not in the same sector. Not in the same sector. So I'll give an example. Because some of the reasons, and the first one, women are in lower paying jobs. You have more women in lower paying jobs. So for example, you may hear that in teaching, you have a 8 to 20% ratio women to men.
Yes.
However, in the field of engineering, you may have the flip. 8% men, 20% women.
Yes.
So when you're doing from an unadjusted position of the data and you're comparing, sometimes they may pick up 80% teachers and compare then it's 80% people in the engineering field. Obviously, across that band, men will appear that they're earning more, but in fact they are. But you're not comparing apples and apples. You're not comparing apples versus oranges, which skews the data sometimes, which appears as though women are being discriminated against because they are just women.
And some of it, and what we have to bear in mind is that women and men are interested in different things. And they are socialized differently because men, and this is not wholesale, but men are predominantly interested in things, and women are predominantly interested in people. And if, for instance, jobs that deal with the manipulation of things pays more than than people, then you're going to get a skew.
Yeah. And that's something that we want to make mention of. So that's one of the first reasons. One of the other reasons is that career breaks are sometimes impacted by a woman because of bringing a child.
Yeah.
So women generally will not take up certain jobs because from a maternal standpoint, you just can't because you have to.
Women carry a double, sometimes triple burden.
Triple burden. So you're not able to take up what a man sometimes take up. And it's not because you don't want to get it, but really truly you possibly can't.
And also there are some jobs who do not accommodate and facilitate women having children. They might tell you have to take too much time off. I can't. And then it's almost as if it works against you, the fact that you're a mom. Well, I can't promote her. She can't be the manager because she have her picnic for go for. She have to pick up the baby got sick. Where the men don't have that to deal with.
And the harsh reality is sometimes, in most cases, when a child is sick and you have both parents in the home, the mother will generally, and I'm not saying it is explicit black and white.
Absolutely.
Because you do have
in
men.
my house.
Yeah, you do have men, exactly.
Yes.
In some ways you do. But on a general scale, you most likely will find the woman going above and beyond when it comes on to their things. All right? When it comes on to things like time off from the job to attend to the children, you may find the woman doing that a little bit more. When it comes on to who will take up the promotion when it comes, because it now requires you to work longer hours, the man more like Dennis will take on the longer hours because who runs home sometimes to prepare dinner, to look after the homework for the kids, etc. So sometimes it's not because you don't want it, but a woman just say, here what? The kids need me, let me run home. And those are factors that will also impact the earning ability of women in some spaces as well.
And sometimes even just our anatomical makeup. So for example, you know, our menstrual cycle, some women have PCOS, they may have endometriosis, they may have different things that may cause them to have to take time off and be less desirable as, you know what, I'm going to promote her. But, you know, she come with the whole of that, can't manage that. And those things are very
and sometimes, and this is not an encouragement, but sometimes when you're looking from a bottom line perspective, for example, Dennis, if I can get 80 hours out of a man this week in producing versus I'm only going to get 60 from a woman to produce, the financial standpoint of some people will say, all right, let me get what I can get more out of. And that's just sometimes what it boils down to.
And also, some jobs are dangerous, and men have a greater proclivity to do dangerous jobs, which may pay more.
Because you
just don't want to be a... I've seen women work at JPS
on the pole. Linesman, lineswoman.
That's a predominantly male job, correct? You know?
And it may pay more than the woman who is maybe on the admin desk. Because you're more likely, a woman may likely be, you know, attracted to that area versus what I meant. So there are some factors that impact that. But let's look at how we can change the narrative, if it can possibly change, from both a pay gap perspective and a wealth gap perspective. Number one, we want to see how we can encourage women to start taking up higher paying jobs in some industry. I know the line is changing, the tides are changing, because you see, as Dennis mentioned, you're seeing women now doing some jobs that they would never do 50 years ago.
And women are also asking and advocating for ourselves that we would not do 50 years ago, or be even thought to be, oh, you're so feminine. Because again, women are not expected to say, no, this is what I'm worth, and this is the value that I bring, and this is the money that I want. And if you're not paying it, it's peace and hair grease. See you later, homie.
To follow up on that point, in many instances, you get not what you're worth, you get what you negotiate.
True.
And women, very often, our girls are socialized to not negotiate well for money.
For themselves.
And men, our boys are socialized in a way that makes them more aggressive, in a way that would allow them, when they get older, to negotiate for money better.
And on the other end too, you're looked at as a man, but then it's not to talk for himself and negotiate good. But if Miss Kitty does it, she love money, see? And it's almost as if I'm wrong
to ask for what you want.
True, me in a business.
But which is why the first point is that to get them to get their minds oriented to start with them. The next thing is exposing our women and girls from as early as possible to financial literacy, to understand money, to understand the value of what they bring to the table. Because sometimes our young girls, they do not know, Miss Kitty, because of how culturally, women were raised, and that's just a harsh reality.
Yes.
You were raised, you are in the kitchen, cleaning, cooking, cleaning the bathroom, the men are outside, the boys are outside, kicking ball, doing the odd jobs, and that's just a harsh reality.
Yeah.
But I realize that things are changing because parents, maybe our generation, etc., are getting our girls to start doing things differently.
Yes.
Go and learn to earn.
Yeah.
Give your money here and there.
But stop
have those
putting money in the
conversations,
handbag already.
which is good.
Your handbag have to have money in there.
I'm taking my child to the ATM. Zuri, put in the pin. This is how you draw money. I was having a discussion yesterday. They said, do you know the difference between saving and investing? And why would you save versus invest? And she's telling me, I'm like, good. These are talks I want to have because I think my daughter needs to be one of those strong, independent, empowered women. So when a young guy comes at 15 or 16 or 25, now what to know? It will not be a case where she feels as though I'm intimidated. You must know that I'm financially empowered, so the boy can try this.
Truly.
And that's where you want to get your young girls, because you do not want to get them so dependent on a man because you feel like you're financially independent and have to depend. And my last thing is that, is there a motherhood penalty? That's a question I want to leave with us. Are women being penalized for being mothers because sometimes it demands more from them, so you cannot give as much to earn as much, and that is some of the things that will impact the wealth gap this morning. Women, you are saving more, we're not investing as much as men are because of the risk factor that is mentioned earlier. Wouldn't like take risk. We have to start taking risks now, so we can actually close the wealth gap here, women, and start, reach up on yourself, reach up.
All right.
Wealth is a must.
Sounds great. That is a great point on which we can wrap up. Thank you very much, Carlton. That's how we have to leave it for Money Masterclass. It was brought to you by Guardian Life. There's more Sunrise after this break.
Should critical illness strike, don't let worry fill your head. Say hello to happiness and goodbye to worry with Guardian Life's new Ultimate Provider Plan. Secure your medical expenses in the event of critical illness ahead of time while benefiting from our investment portfolio and so much more. Give yourself and your family the peace of mind you deserve with Guardian Life's new Ultimate Provider Plan today, and live secure. Live easy.
Do it for your best life, do it. Go check your HIV status, wait. So keep your life trending, no pretending. Me I tell yourself it, do it for you, do it for you. Every time you are link with a condom, coulda Ozzy, coulda wife, coulda be a random. Condom connect and protect your profile. Be your own fan, do it for your best life. Do it for your best life. Do it. Don't put yourself at risk. Condom connect every time. Do it for your best life. Do it.
The new Big Dipper from Wendy's. A juicy cheeseburger with smoky Cajun mayo, crunchy tortilla chips, and a creamy cheese sauce for dipping. Available for a limited time only at Wendy's.
Critical illness has many faces. 1 in 4 people will be affected. Protect what matters with critical illness insurance from Sagicor Life.
If you're a woman in business, it's time to go bigger.
Your ambition is calling, and Horizon for Women in Business is answering.
Horizon, a new loan product from Access Financial Services designed for women entrepreneurs to unlock the capital you need to grow and take your business beyond limits. With quick approval, flexible repayment, and low interest rates, your success is on the horizon.
Call us now. The funds are waiting.
Your success is on the horizon.
Welcome back, folks. Good morning to you. Thank you very much. Now, if you're the type of person who likes to customize everything, you like it bespoke, your coffee order, your playlist, even how spicy your food is, that is me, yes. This next spot in New Kingston actually might be right up your alley. It's Jamaica's first self-serve ramen cafe. And here to tell us all about how it works, to help, we have the founder and managing director of Ramen House, Janelle Wilkinson. Relation. Janelle, how are you?
Hi, morning. I am most grateful and happy to be here.
Wonderful. Good morning, Miss Wilkinson. This is Mrs. Wilkinson.
That's right.
We're the Wilkinsons.
Hi.
Yes. House of Wilkinson.
Ramen House.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I love these things because I love innovations, and I hope your business does very well, because like I love when people see an opening in the market that didn't exist and say, let's go.
Yes.
So tell us where this idea came from. Well, you love soup.
Actually, no, I'm not a big fan of soup.
But you know people.
You like ramen?
No ramen. I'm a big foodie.
Oh, wow.
But not a ramen foodie. The idea came about with me, leisurely scrolling through TikTok, like everybody. It's a new trend now, just to sit on your phone every day.
Scrolling.
And just, And I came across a Korean website.
Always them.
Yes.
Yes.
And they were doing a DIY, come in, make your own bowl and go. And it dawned on me, light bulb.
Yes.
This definitely would do well in Jamaica.
Yes, and I like it too because, Dennis, as university students, we know the importance of a ramen.
Oh, yes.
Because when you're on the go, you have class, and also you have a little bit of money, right? And then now you're spiced up, you add some different things, and you put piece of chicken, and you put piece of this. So I like the innovation of this. So talk to me about your location in New Kingston. What are your opening hours?
All right, so we open currently from Monday to Sunday. We open from 10:30 to 9 o'clock. So we've actually recently fixed our opening hours just to have persons, the late night crowd and as well as the early morning crowd, the breakfast crowd.
Okay, so people drink them something at night?
Yes, and for breakfast.
And for breakfast?
Yes.
Wow. So talk to me about a bowl. Like, what does that look like, or what does it comprise of? So you come in, you build your bowl. How does it work? What do I do? Walk me from start to finish.
All right, so once it is that you arrive at the store, we assist you with the ramen selection. So we have over 70 different ramen.
70?
Over 70 different ramen.
But when we go to the supermarket, we see like 3-4 different ones.
Right. So our ramens are sourced both locally and overseas.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
So what types of ramen? Because I just thought there was just one type.
Oh, no. So other from the regular pork, shrimp.
Yes.
Beef.
Yeah, chicken.
A good amount of our ramen are Korean or Japanese. So you might have the tonkotsu flavor, which is more like a premium pork.
Oh, wow.
You have different flavors that doesn't necessarily have to be chicken, beef, or shrimp.
Yeah.
But it might just have like a different spice. So you'll have curry, you'll have masala, you'll have there's different flavors.
Oh, wow. Nice.
And of course, there are also vegan options. So it doesn't only stop at just the regular flour ramen. You might have rice ramen. You might have spinach ramen.
Wow.
There's a lot of different types of noodles we're talking about.
Right.
Yes.
So for like persons who may be gluten intolerant, do you have for those persons
Yes.
as well? Wow. Wow. I didn't, Dennis, me stretch that one like a pocket so. I just put in the water and I ate that. I did not. Yeah, I didn't know that at all. So what's like our best seller at your store?
Our best
at the
seller
Ramen House?
is actually a pork flavor.
Yes.
It is a tonkotsu black garlic oil.
Okay.
As well as the bulldog. Bulldog is now on social media everywhere, so that is also a top seller.
Okay, bulldog. All right. I've never even heard of those before, and I do like ramen as well. So talk to me about how it is prepared now, my love. Janelle.
All right. So once it is that you've then selected your bowl.
Yeah, you have to do this, Dennis. Remember, you have to make the knives. Yeah.
Once it is that you've selected your ramen, we then put our bowl on our machine or ramen cookers here.
Yes, okay.
We'll press start one, which will dispense the water and also starts the cooking process. So these machines, in a sense, are an induction cooker.
Okay.
So you'll have your ramen done within 4 minutes.
Okay. So it's to go. So you just buy it, cook it. Can persons eat there, or is it a takeaway?
Yeah, man. We have facilities for you to dine at location.
Wow. Nice.
Interesting. All right, so Janelle, what do we have here? Like, because I've seen some things that I've never seen before.
Okay.
So tell me, how does it work? Walk us through the process. So, like, what do we select first?
All right. So first, you select your ramen.
Okay, Dennis, which one you want to try? I see the bulldog right here, spicy.
Okay. Yeah.
Me, my love, I can't take a next spice.
That's extremely spicy.
Wow.
You want to see me a cry? Let's do the extremely spicy.
Yeah, because Dennis gonna try it. Yes.
So what do you do?
All right, so once it is that you open the ramen, we then add it to our bowl and then we add our toppings. So I carried a wider range of a few toppings here for you.
Yeah.
And in store, we offer scallion and sweet corn free.
Oh, nice. And let me just ask you though, Janelle, is this filling? Because I'm looking at it, I'm like, Janelle, how much for a bowl and is it really filling?
It is actually filling. Our bowls start from $400 upwards. So we have different price range as well as our toppings start from $85 upwards.
Nice. Okay. So it's nice and economical. I like that. The price point. Quite nice.
So you go so?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if somebody have a 5 bills, they can get a ramen.
That is a seasoning mix. So it's basically sugar.
Okay.
And fried onion. And that's the killer. That's the spice.
Wow.
And the seasoning.
Wow.
Let me put off.
Whoa. Okay.
All right, man, let's stop there. So
I can smell the fire.
And then now you choose whatever toppings you want. So we have broccoli, we have some baby choy, we have some enoki mushrooms, rice cake, and of course scallion and corn.
Okay,
All right.
enoki. What else do you have? Like you have kimchi and those things?
We have kimchi, actually carrot kimchi for
Oh,
you
nice.
guys.
Kimchi is good for your gut, guys. Gut health.
What's this?
Rice cakes.
Oh, rice cakes.
Okay.
What has been the feedback that you've received thus far from persons who have come to Ramen House?
Jamaicans love ramen.
Yeah.
They love ramen.
Yeah.
They are ecstatic about the fact that it's something new. What I love about this whole concept is it's new to Jamaica, not only that, but the whole concept of an interactive dining experience.
Yes.
It takes you away from the regular TikTok and the phone and the laptops. It's for you and your family members, your loved ones to come and make a nice bowl of ramen.
Yeah, and make it for you. Because oftentimes, you know, Janelle, and what I like about this is that it's not a one size fits all. It's what you want as per your taste buds as to what you like.
Yes, correct.
So like a creamy or a cheesy kind of ramen.
Yeah, man, we have all of those. So we have ramens that are cheesy, we have ramens that are creamy, and we also have cheese as a selection in store.
Oh, wow.
All right, so let's go with this. How is it?
Machines are on, but the machine isn't even plugged in.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Let's get it together. We're talking to Janelle Wilkinson this morning, the owner and operator, the founder and managing director of Ramen House in New Kingston. So again, where in New Kingston are you located?
We're located at 8 St. Lucia Crescent in the Hub Co-working Building.
No, tell me which one that they're near.
All right, so you know where Burger King is?
Yes.
Back at Burger King.
Oh, that's hot. We're on JFF, that's all.
Yes, Jamaica, yes.
That's what I'm talking about, girl. That's what you say. Hey. JFF. Good morning, JFF family. Yes, I like it. Lovely.
So now we press start one.
Start one.
And that would dispense the water. And it would immediately start heating the bowl.
Okay. So you guys do this for us at Ramen House?
You actually do it. It's a DIY concept, but if it is that you need help, we're
very
there
well,
to help.
very well. Come, I don't want burn up myself.
Spoil it.
I don't want spoil it. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, wonderful.
And you said within 4 minutes?
Within 4 minutes.
It's done. Normally though, Ajana, when you do like a ramen, you know, you have to cover it so it can steam.
No, you don't have to do that.
Okay, good.
It cooks within 4 minutes.
Within 4 minutes. I like that. I love it.
And I mean, you have persons that probably like a soggy noodle. Of course, we have the option to add more time for you to get it soggy.
Yeah, soft. Yeah.
I don't like that. I like my noodles with body.
And by the way, do you have any options for children?
Yes, we have. This is certainly funny enough. The children like the spice. They love the pepper.
Okay.
But we do have selections for kids without the pepper.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Because you know, kids love spaghetti. I like. Does Jackson like the idea of holding it like this and doing it like that?
He does.
It's a kid thing. It's a kid thing. I love it. Where can we find you on social media, my love?
We are on TikTok and Instagram at Ramen House JA.
All right, Ramen House JA.
All
You
right.
heard it here. And we're going to try our Bulldog Ramen, courtesy of Janelle Wilkinson, founder and managing director of Ramen House Jamaica. We head to another break, and then it will be over to TK for the morning news. Please do stay with us. It's Sunrise on CVM.
What you do? You go check me prostate.
No,
seriously.
Me nah do that.
Remember say that pops drop out from me now. Me have to take it serious. You can't just do the blood test, you know. But better safe than sorry. So me do the full package. Plus the NHF card help pay for the PSA test. Biggs, you're 40, you know. The earlier, the better. Cause me know you still want fire pan all cylinder.
That is it.
NHF is here for health. NHF is here for you.
Rainforest, I go give you plenty healthy ways to switch up your meals. Fresh flavor that to me need. More delicious moments every day of the week. And look how good me feel. Rainforest make it nice. Rainforest, I go make it nice.
Tune in to Lead Story. Weekdays at 6 p.m. Hosted by Jodianne Quarry.
Brought to you by
Horizon, a new loan product from Access Financial Services.
Every day starts with care. Care that's always close. Supermed Family of Pharmacies is where you go for everything you need. From your morning routine to life's biggest moments. Supermed Family of Pharmacies is always by your side. Whether it's prescriptions or household essentials, trust the care that's close to home. Super happy, super healthy, Supermed.
Hi, I'm Landy. Welcome to NLA Connect, the National Land Agency's customer engagement platform. NLA Connect is a simple, user-friendly platform designed to help you share your feedback, get support, and updates about land-related matters. Available 24/7, NLA Connect allows you to share suggestions, comments, and commendations, submit queries and report issues, attach files with your requests, track requests and get real-time status updates, connect with NLA client engagement officers, and provide feedback on the service received by the platform. We're making it easier for you to connect with us. You can access NLA Connect via our website, using the kiosk at any of our offices, or scanning the QR code displayed at our locations. Need any help along the way? Check out our FAQs section. It has all the answers you need in one location. NLA Connect, your voice, our priority.
Welcome to Morning News. I'm TK Dawkins. A St. James woman is dead following an incident at her home. She has been identified as 53-year-old Jeanette Hickey, otherwise called Lorraine of Goodwill Anchovy in the parish. From information received, Miss Hickey and a man said to be her spouse of a Mount Salem St. James address had an argument. Residents report hearing a commotion coming from the yard and saw Hickey covered in blood running towards another house where her son resides. Miss Hickey fell at the gate before residents could render assistance. The police who were alerted say they saw Miss Hickey suffering from what appeared to be multiple chop wounds to her left hand. One of her fingers was severed. Hickey was rushed to the Cornwall Regional Hospital where she was pronounced dead on arrival. Meanwhile, a trail of blood led the lawmen to an apartment at Valencia Drive in Mount Salem. Checks were made and the severed finger was found inside the bedroom. The apartment was covered in what appeared to be bloodstains. The spouse was not seen and neighbors were unable to account for his whereabouts. Meanwhile, 3 Chinese nationals were robbed of millions of dollars at their home in Spot Valley, St. James by armed men. Reports are the Chinese were home sleeping when they woke to see 5 men with their faces covered. The men reportedly gained access to the house by prying the front door open. One of the men was reportedly armed with a handgun and the others with knives. It's understood they robbed the Chinese of $15,000 US, 4 million Jamaican dollars, 5,000 Canadian dollars, 500 yuan, 300 euros, 300 pounds, 2 black iPhone 14s, each valuing $700 US, 1 white Redmi cell phone valuing also $700 US, and a wallet. The men then made their escape on foot in the area. Over in sports, cup holders Cavalier made it 3 wins in a row when they carved out a 1-0 victory over Chapelton Maroons in Sunday's Ray & Nephew Jamaica Premier League encounter. The victory kept Cavalier in 6th place, virtually clinching a spot in the playoff round. Waterhouse and leaders Montego Bay United will meet in Monday night's game at Waterhouse. Montego Bay United leads the standing with 51 points, followed by Mount Pleasant on 46. Racing United on 45, Portmore on 43, Waterhouse on 40, and Cavalier occupied the 6th and final playoff spot with 39 points. In 7th place, 7 points behind Cavalier, is Dunbeholden. The 3-day National Track and Field Carifta Games trials ended on Sunday inside the National Stadium, with athletes vying for a place in the team by finishing in the top 3 placings. There were individual best performances of the season so far by the athletes in the boys and girls 100 meters, and Shania Douglas in the girls 200 meters. Let's relive a few races from the trials.
Only 5 in this one. Gordon Smythe, Seymour, Stephen, and it's Gordon who gets a quick start. Smythe is coming. Sanchez Seymour on his outside takes command. 10.23 for the man from William Nib. Sanchez Seymour confirmed now. Jamaica McLean of Fogo Road, perhaps a favorite in this heat, perhaps the favorite overall. She is in the middle, the purple of Fogo Road, and she goes out strongly now and makes a massive move on the backstretch. No one is able to respond to that move from Jamaica McLean, representing or from Fogo Road. 200 meters to go now. We may have already put this one to bed as a race. Coming in to the picture as well is Eccleston in lane number 5, but Jamaica McLean in lane number 6 is doing the job. Jamaica McLean has a massive lead, perhaps 10, maybe 15 meters over Eccleston. Jamaica McLean will come through to win it 55.
And that's it for Morning News. Join us again at noon for more from our news and sports desk. I'm TK Dawkins. Sunrise continues after this.
What a guan.
What a guan. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 a.m., 1:30 p.m., and 10 p.m. on CVM TV.
That's a guan for what a guan.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
Let's delve deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orchid Higgins, and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yes. Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
Watagwan. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 a.m., 1:30 p.m., and 10 p.m. on CVMTV.
Everybody want to see a country right now. One thing about Jamaicans, we might have differences, but we know when something is good for all of us. And when we work together against crime and violence, we are stronger than ever. And that's how we know the Citizen Security Plan can work. That one name CSP. The Citizen Security Plan is an initiative of the Ministry of National Security in partnership with the European Union. It's an all-of-government effort to create safer streets and build stronger communities. Go to mns.gov.jm to learn how you can play your part.
Beautiful, wonderful. Thank you so much for staying with us, and welcome back to Sunrise. And let me also take this opportunity to say a resplendent morning to all the women in the legal profession.
Yes.
Happy International Women's Day belatedly. Everybody of the judiciary, everybody at the court's office, the lawyers, everyone in the legal fraternity, a pleasant morning to all of you.
I remember some years ago, well, actually, in teaching the topic of gender and especially to teaching it to girls, I remember I always would say that the legal profession is one of the professions that if you're going to write an essay about this in Cape, that you use the legal profession as an argument to say that women are making significant strides in society because it was such a male-dominated profession, and we have seen in our lifetime. I remember 1 year in teaching, and the Minister of Justice was, the Attorney General was Dorothy Lightbun. The DPP, Paula Llewellyn. We had the president of the Jamaican Bar Association was a woman at the time. I can't remember which one it was, but since then we've had several, which goes to say that women are holding key positions, more women on the bench than maybe in most societies in the Caribbean and many in the developed world, that women in the legal profession are making significant strides in shattering the glass ceiling.
Wonderful. You see that? That's what we do. And I'm so happy to be a part of such a wonderful and a very noble profession. Well, guys, you may have figured it out by now. It's time for another edition of Law and Order JA, brought to you by
the Ministry of National Security and Peace.
All right, so now a case that many Jamaicans have been closely following since 2023 reached a major turning point last week when former Member of Parliament Julian Silvera was sentenced for the killing of his wife Melissa Silvera. The verdict has raised several questions, from why the charge moved from murder to manslaughter to how concurrent sentencing actually works in practice, and what factors the court took into consideration when someone pleads guilty. It's a complex legal process, and this morning we're breaking it down so you, our viewers, can better understand what happened and what it means for Jamaica's justice system. Joining us via Zoom is attorney at law Alexander Shaw. Good morning, Mr. Shaw.
Morning, Counsel.
Good morning, Counsel.
Miss Kitty. Good morning, Dennis, and to all your listeners in TV land.
Very well. Now, the first question, I know a lot of people still, they are bothered by it. Counsel, why was the charge moved from murder to manslaughter? Because some people are saying it is a lesser charge and it's like him get way.
Well, what we have to appreciate is that the distinguishing difference between murder and manslaughter is that of intention. Because usually when we use manslaughter, where the average Jamaican thinks of an accident that results in death. But manslaughter can arise where the accused was previously charged for murder and he either pleads not guilty to murder but is found guilty for manslaughter, or he pleads guilty to manslaughter and the prosecution accepts the plea of manslaughter, or on a conviction for murder, the Court of Appeal substitutes the conviction for manslaughter because of some judicial error in the summation. So those are possibly instances where a murder charge or conviction can result in manslaughter. And it's usually because of some mitigating circumstances. And I could go on to break it down with, voluntary manslaughter and involuntary manslaughter. But I think for now, what Jamaicans need to appreciate is that, the two walk hand in hand. And at some point, a murder charge could always be substituted for manslaughter, depending on the surrounding circumstances.
Now, this matter of sentencing, because once we get to the point of a conviction and we move to sentencing, in Jamaica, we might see in America where somebody is sentenced to 100 years and they're never coming out. They're in the prison for the rest of their foreseeable life. We don't have that in Jamaica. And some people view it as getting off easy because you'll get 40 years in total, but the sentences are to run concurrently. Why is that? What is the sentencing philosophy or guideline that dictates how we do it in Jamaica?
Well, I think a sentencing judge has to be mindful of the total effect of sentencing or the sentence. And so the sentence must fit the crime. And that is the starting point. Now, how we treat with consecutive and concurrent, and I think it goes without saying that concurrent means that the sentence is run simultaneously and consecutive one after the other. But with respect to the totality principle, if it is that when the sentencer sentences you for, say, 15 years, and 15 years, one would consider that sufficient for the crime, then there is perhaps no need to impose a much higher. But beyond that, I think the most important concern or the most important principle here is that if it is that the offenses, two or more offenses, arise out of the same facts or transaction, then the judge usually sentence you concurrently, which means that if you did a robbery and you are charged for the gun and you're charged for the robbery, then the sentence, because that would be the same facts. You are charged for those offenses. You're charged for the gun, you're charged for the robbery. A judge who is sentencing you, if you decide to plead guilty, would sentence you concurrently for the offenses. However, if we're talking about two different offenses, then perhaps the principle or perhaps consecutive sentencing would be more appropriate, but then it depends on the totality of the sentence.
Regarding his, he was sentenced to 20 years and 10 months. And 10 months, and he is eligible for parole after serving 13 years. A lot of people are a bit uncomfortable with that counsel because they're thinking it means that after 13 years he might come out. What does becoming eligible for parole after 13 years, is it a must that he will come out, or is that a consideration for the Correctional Services Division, which he may get it or he may not get it?
And you are perfectly right, because it says eligibility, which means that it doesn't equate to automatic qualification. An assessment has to be done, and part of sentencing is rehabilitation. And if the board determines that you have shown some signs of rehabilitation on that basis, then he may be qualified. And so they have to do an independent assessment and take into consideration everything that happens behind bars. We're talking about 13 years in confinement. Who knows whether any infractions or violations will occur? So it's really a difficult process, and I can understand the frustration because it seems as if you're giving on one hand and taking from the other.
Yes. So some may consider, counsel, that this act that Mr. Silvera committed was quite egregious. A woman was robbed of her life, children are robbed of their mother, and really and truly, children are robbed of both parents, because here we have a father who is now behind bars and will be there for a number of years, a mother who will never return from the grave, and that in and of itself is traumatic. They discovered her body, and that in and of itself, in the totality of the circumstances, egregious may even be a very light word, and I don't have words to use on this platform at this time to properly articulate how dreadful that entire situation is. In terms of the summation of the judge in, of course, Chief Justice Sykes in his wisdom gave the 20 years. Can it be that the prosecution can appeal to say, no, my lord, with the greatest of respect, we don't think that that sentence is harsh enough based on the totality of the circumstances. We want a high up. No, man. You forget a 30-year man under your skin, man. Can the prosecution appeal, and would they in circumstances like this?
Well, I will answer in the affirmative to say that yes, the prosecution can appeal, but they will have to appeal on a point of law. And I do not think one arises here, particularly because there was no there was no error in judgment or summation, because we're treating with a manslaughter offense here. And manslaughter, the sentencing guidelines speak to a starting point, I believe, of 7 years for manslaughter. And we have seen where this judge, our Chief Justice, went outside of the regular parameters or the boundary, so to speak, of manslaughter, and gave 20 years. Now, this is, I would say, very unusual, but this case presented unusual circumstances because he could have gotten a fine, even though usually we don't see somebody getting a fine for voluntary manslaughter. But the point I'm trying to make here is that 20 years or 20 plus years, one would consider sufficient for manslaughter because the range is very wide. You can get a fine, you can get a probationary period, or as we see, he went beyond life, because life starts at 15 years, and that's the maximum for manslaughter. Usually you don't find somebody getting beyond 25 years for manslaughter. In fact, it is actually rare that we will see them getting in the 20s. So I would say the judge did us justice.
The argument then is that there was a strategic move on the part of the defense to plead guilty when he did. So the timing becomes a factor, because persons trying to compare this with something else with different facts maybe have a problem with it. Speak to us about strategy and timing in this instance.
Sentencing guidelines.
Well, the truth is the delay did not work in his favor, because the Criminal Justice and Administration Act affords a defendant certain incentives if he decides to plea early, because the court encourages guilty plea. And so you can get a discount of up to 50% if you plea on the first occasion. Now, this accused person would have waited, waited so long, which was pointed out by the Chief Justice. And by virtue of that, he got a discount, but it wasn't the maximum. So the law is that the earlier you plea, the more discount you will get. And so defendants tend to use that to their advantage. And
let me follow up then, because again, one would say that he did take a while.
Yes.
And for a period of 2 years, for instance, the local ballistic expert was saying this is what happened. And the claim was that is not what happened. Let me go and get an international expert.
And also the pathologist.
Right. And so when the international expert comes and says, what the local expert said happened is correct. The local expert did a brilliant job. Then him say, all right, be guilty. Shouldn't that be factored in? We say, look here, you know. Or was it? Do you think it was factored in?
It was factored in because I think the Chief Justice spent some time on that. And in considering whether or not the accused was actually remorseful, there was any signs of remorse, I think he looked at that because he was saying that, listen, you know, the strategy was to challenge what the Crown presented. And, you know, having realized that the evidence was in fact credible, he was cornered. There was no other way to get out. And it's really because of that why, you know, he pled guilty. So I think that was factored, but notwithstanding that, he's still entitled to a discount once he pleads guilty.
Because he did so before the trial.
Because he did so before the trial.
So it's looked at, he didn't waste the courts. He wasted the court's time to a degree, but not entirely.
Yes.
Entirely. Talk to me though, Alexander, about the defense of provocation and the role that played in terms of him being charged with manslaughter and the charge flowing, the verdict flowing from that. Because some people say, but sir, woman motor was trained. We can talk, we can cuss, you know, because I remember in the chief summation, it talked about, you know, mentioned she was feisty and, you know, there are different things that were mentioned, that there was an argument, and that was what partly caused the confrontation and led to her death. The defense of provocation, how integral or important was that in the sentencing?
Well, I tell you, provocation in and of itself is a mitigating factor.
Yes.
And it is what caused murder to be reduced from murder to manslaughter, right? And provocation is the loss of self-control, the sudden loss of self-control. And I use the word sudden there because the idea is that you should not premeditate. You should not delay in acting. You know, you heard something is said or something is done, and, you know, in quick succession, you just respond and you kill. In fact, provocation is only a defense to murder. It has been the law from time immemorial, and I think we have seen quite a number of Jamaicans questioning whether or not we really should have this law. I may tell you that in some jurisdictions, words cannot amount to provocation, even in England, where we actually borrowed our law from, or we got our law based on the reception of law doctrine. So it is really what caused the defendant to get off on a manslaughter charge as opposed to murder.
And sometimes, you know, counsel, from where the prosecution may sit, maybe they're thinking, murder, I have to prove the mens rea and the actus reus. If I go before a jury, all it takes is for one juror to say, I don't believe and I don't agree. And then you have a hung jury and then he gets off. Manslaughter, at least I have an admission of guilt and I can prove that. So you know what? A bird in the hand is worth more than two in the bush.
And I must add to it is that, you know, you don't know what a witness will say in the witness box. And once provocation is raised, it is the job of the prosecutors to refute it. And in this particular case, there was no eyewitnesses. And so it would have been very difficult for the Crown to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that he was not provoked. Because what will they rely on? Yes, you can rely on circumstantial evidence to build your case and to present your case, right? But in terms of when the defendant raises a defense, you must be able to rebut that defense. And understandably, self-defense was not raised because then the force would not have been commensurate. But provocation, you don't need that. And that is what is usually relied upon in cases like these.
Yes,
Most
thank you so very much.
Thank
the
you very
threshold
much.
is lower. Thank you.
Indeed.
So, yeah, the threshold is lower in manslaughter instances because beyond a reasonable doubt is what you have to prove in murder cases. It's an unfortunate event, but it is what it is. The law has taken its course and we just have to work with it. But thank you so much for elucidating our
You are
counsel.
welcome.
We appreciate it.
Indeed. Thank you very much. Alexander Shah, attorney at law, joining us in this edition of Law and Order JA. It was brought to you by the Ministry of National Security and Peace. After the break, we're shifting focus to the 2026 tax season with NCB. Stay with us.
Your hard contribution builds a stronger workforce and strengthens the economy. It's not just contribution, it's transformation. The time by heart is...
Everybody want to see a country right now. One thing about Jamaicans, we might have differences, but we know when something is good for all of us. And when we work together against crime and violence, we are stronger than ever. And that's how we know the Citizen Security Plan can work. That one the name CSP. The Citizen Security Plan is an initiative of the Ministry of National Security in partnership with the European Union. It's an all-of-government effort to create safer streets and build stronger communities. Go to mns.gov.jm to learn how you can play your part.
This is deposit insurance in a minute. Under the JDIC, business accounts are insured separately from the owner's personal accounts up to 1.2 million.
Hold on there. So my little shop money and my little savings money insured separately?
As long as your savings and business accounts are in a bank or building society.
Well, that's not bad.
To learn more about how deposit insurance works, visit the JDIC website at www.jdic.org or follow on Facebook, Instagram, and X at JDIC Jam.
JDIC, protecting deposits for you and me.
Here, where the Caribbean greets the morning, elegance isn't just seen, it's sensed. Set on Jamaica's north coast, the Montego Bay Convention Center rises with intention. A space designed to inspire, connect, and lead. Polished, purpose-built, poised for what's next. Step into a venue where scale meets serenity, where openness isn't just a design, it's a philosophy. This is more than a venue. This is where vision checks in.
In need of a loan? AIM Financial is the place to go. We have loans from $20,000 to $3.3 million. Get a loan to pay school or college tuition, medical expenses, bills, fix up your house, buy furniture and appliances, repair or buy a car. And when you're done, take a vacation loan. AIM has a loan for any purpose. Call AIM today. You won't find a better deal elsewhere. Guaranteed.
The new Big Dipper from Wendy's. A juicy cheeseburger with smoky Cajun mayo, crunchy tortilla chips, and a creamy cheese sauce for dipping. Available for a limited time only at Wendy's.
Tune in to Lead Story. Weekdays at 6 p.m. Hosted by Jodianne Quarry.
Brought to you by Horizon, a new loan product from Access Financial Services.
Thanks for staying with us. Well, guess what? If you run a business, you already know that tax season can sometimes feel like too much to deal with. But the good news is that with the right financial tools, tax time does not have to be overwhelming.
And the right people to guide you.
That's right. You need good people. You need good people.
To reassure you.
Yes. And educate you.
Yes.
And guide you. Well, this morning we're looking at strategies that can help SMEs manage payments more efficiently while even earning a few rewards along the way. And to walk us through how businesses can make the most of these options, we have one of the best in the business, Program Delivery Officer at NCB, Lori White. Lori, welcome.
Good morning.
How are you?
Thanks for having me.
morning. How are you?
I'm doing good.
A lot of people face a lot of trepidation at this time. You feel sick, you start sweat. All both of you hurt you because, oh my God, March 15 is around the corner.
Yes.
Many persons did not know that NCB offers this service.
Yeah.
Talk to me about how does it work and who is eligible to utilize these services.
Okay. So actually, you said March 15. The deadline actually was extended for, limited liability companies,
praise God.
some sole traders, incorporated businesses. So
till when?
To April 15th.
Oh, that's hard. Praise God.
Great. So they have
so they have a little bit more time.
Yes.
For self-employed persons, though, it remains March 15th. So it's important to know where you fit in terms of the category and plan accordingly.
Generally speaking, what are some of the mistakes that persons make which get them into this feeling of trepidation at this time?
I would say not planning properly because, anything can feel, can create anxiety once you're not prepared. So I think it's tracking your expenses, seeing where you fit, seeing what obligations you have at what period of time and plan for them would be, I think, most important to get you prepared.
I like that you said that, Laura, because a lot of us, we don't come from a rich family and a business mogul. No, nobody set an example for us as to how to do a business, Dennis. We just know, so we're hustler, we're ambitious, and we want to get something here. So there are certain key things of tracking expenses that we don't know how to do. As the person providing this service, for those listening now and for those who want to come in the future, how do we track our, like Miss Kitty, you guys need to be writing stuff down, you need to keep your receipt. What do we need to do so when it comes around to tax time, we can just pawn up a bag and come and say, Laura, receipt here.
So I think that's where business credit cards come in because with our NCB business credit cards, we have statements, you get monthly statements.
Gotcha.
You can also go online, business online banking platform, and you can see everything that you spent, when you spend it, and you can, use that to say, okay, I use this for the business, this is where I'm looking as it relates to cash flow. Well, maybe I need to cut back on this. Maybe I need some additional credit because we do offer like limit increases based on, to give you a little bit more flexibility if you need it. And it's just using your credit card strategically to help you because there are, other features that comes with the card that can help you keep everything tight.
Oh, nice.
One of the things I've also, been hearing people say is, especially cash-intensive businesses, that you need, if you're collecting cash, you need to run it through the bank at some point in time, or else you're just getting cash, spending cash, and there's no accountability where that is concerned.
No paper trail.
So how can persons who maybe have like a cash-intensive business structure it by using NCB to put the cash into whether it's an account or put it and then use your credit card and pay certain things so that you can track things better?
So the thing is, the good thing with NCB is that we offer end-to-end solutions. So we'll offer your account in terms of your retail account. If you have if you need a POS, we have POS services as well, and we have credit cards. So it's a connected ecosystem of all the different touch points that basically you'll be transacting. So whether you're receiving the payments, whether you're making the payments, and whether you need to store the cash or what you make. So, it helps you to have that point, like it's like a triangle basically for everything that you need to do to run your business efficiently.
So I was at on a Friday night. I've been telling you we need to go on a Friday night at Summit.
Summit.
Yeah, and I noticed because like you can just go and I'm just like I'm noticing more small vendors with the little
phone,
thing. With the phone,
it's called
ePOS, right?
NCB
and
ePOS.
it's bang, it's just so easy, so quick. I don't have to take out the cash, and they don't have to be dealing with cash. They're like ePOS, it's working, and the people are taking it up. You know who I put onto ePOS? Chrissy, who does my nails.
Oh, nice. Hey.
Oh,
Dennis, you working for NCB? You getting a commission?
No, man. Lori, man. From your tell me about ePOS, I've been telling people, I'm like, look here, I don't want to have to, even my barber, I'm like, Mark, you need to use NCB e-pause.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And
so this is for NCB customers that you offer this, or for anyone?
If you're not a customer, you
You
can
need
become
to
a
get on
customer.
board.
You can become a customer,
Yeah.
you know. So we do offer like, pre-approved solutions. So for example, if you're already an NCB merchant, we can get you pre-approved for a credit card. If it's the reverse, if you're already an NCB credit card holder, we can get you a POS.
No man,
So
not the e-pause, or the POS. I'm talking about the tax.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So for taxes, what we're positioning is using your credit cards and making the payment strategically, right?
Yes.
So basically, our NCB business credit cards, they come with a suite of rewards. And you can access those even if you're paying taxes.
Yes.
So it's not about meeting your obligations, it's about making them work for you.
How
so
does
for
one-
example, if let's say you have a tax payment to make, you use your business credit card, you can earn cash back, for example. So you can pay online. So you can simply go to NCB online banking, select tax administration Jamaica as a payee, boom, tax is paid. Then you would get rewards from paying your taxes because it's a large payment, right?
Wow.
So you'll gain rewards. So we have cashback, which is basically cashback rewards that you can later reinvest in your business, right? We also offer NCB miles, which is points that you can redeem for travel. You can host businesses because it's not just travel. You can pay your subscriptions, whether it's digital tools or marketing subscriptions. So it's about using the card and then getting the rewards from using the card, even for something like an obligatory spend like taxes.
Nice.
Speaking of the taxes, then, again, persons need education. They need guidance. And I hear that you have a webinar coming up.
Yes, we do have a webinar coming up, and it's this Thursday, March 12th. And we'll have industry experts. We're thinking from MasterCard, from TAJ themselves, NCB, of course, and we have some keynote speakers who are, consultants within the industry. So it's what we're aiming for is supporting SMEs with integrated, I would say, SME support. The practical tools, financial tools such as the credit cards, and then partnering that with the education and the seminars to give you like a cohesive support that can help you as an SME operate efficiently and grow sustainably. And to register for the webinar, right, you visit tinyurl.com/NCB Taxes 2026. tinyurl.com/NCB Taxes 2026.
And what time it starts?
I start at 6, goes
PM?
until 8, right? We know business are going.
Yes, yes.
You need to do after business hours, so 6 to 8 p.m.
I like that. I really like that.
For those who are watching this conversation and saying, I'm afraid I had a credit card. And they must say, my business small. Me not going to qualify. What would you say to
wholly for small businesses. We have a lot of customers who are small businesses, and it's about how you use a tool. Anything can be used incorrectly. But once you use it to your advantage is what we're saying. Use it strategically. So it's not what you have, it's how you use it. And we've seen a lot of businesses use it and flourish and grow.
Nice.
What makes you any different?
Yeah. And so if you have a shop, if you want dressmaker, a barber, a shoemaker, because sometimes, we tend to small up ourselves and small up with things. Like, men are really on business. I just sell food. I just sell lunch. But your lunch business is generating millions of dollars.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And if you have your NCB business credit card, you can also move from 1 pot to 2 pot to 3 pots and expand. So, don't small up yourself. You're a big deal.
We're offering a waiver too. So
tell me about that,
now
girl.
is the perfect time to get a business credit card if you don't have one. Up to March 31st, we're waiving joining fees. So you can apply. You can visit your nearest branch. If you don't know where to start, you can visit your nearest branch to get started.
What's the usual fee anyway?
So the usual fee varies per card. So we have 4 different NCB business credit cards. It's not a one size fits all.
Gotcha.
We're meeting you where you are and we're giving you what works for you. So it ranges, it varies.
I love that. I love it. Well, guys, the month of March we are march to progress. Time, come get your NCB card. I gotta tell you, I got a remix. I'm gonna send Michael Leachin a bill. I'm gonna send an invoice for that. Good morning, Mr. Leachin. How you doing? Clock that tea, okay? And good morning to everybody at the tax office up there on Constant Spring Road. They are so nice. Good morning to Miss Newbie. Good morning to Hortensia. Mona. Good morning to Kate Dean, and good morning to the King Alarm officers. And they're ladies, you know, a lot of them are ladies.
Yeah.
Them help you to park. Them just nice and very polite, and I was really impressed with the service that I received recently.
You're not supposed
Nice
to go to tax
bad.
office. You're not supposed to go to tax office and feel like a judgment.
Yeah, me not lie. It was very pleasant. Miss Newbie and her staff, her team, very polite, very affable, very professional.
Right.
And I'm like, this nice, but it's nice.
Pay your taxes.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be easy to pay your taxes.
And big up the gentleman at the front to take a picture if you do have a picture.
Oh,
All
you're
the
still
sheet.
in it?
Yeah, I'm there. You take a picture. You gotta have a picture, man.
Picture man.
Big up every picture, man. You know what I'm saying? Good morning to you. All right, Lori, thank you so very much. Lori White, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Program Delivery Officer at NCB, for joining us this morning to help us, you know, navigate the whole business tax season without the stress. And you know, it would be remiss of me if I never big up my crew up there at NCB, Mona, Yui Mona. Good morning, Cheryl. Good morning, Suzette. Good morning, Roy. Good morning, Patrice. Good morning, everybody.
Big up Alison Wright. Knutsford Boulevard.
Yeah, not all NCB, I don't know. Family, family. We're going to take another break, and we'll be coming back to talk orchids, conservation, and a special show celebrating nature's comeback. You're still watching CVM Sunrise.
This is the Aedes aegypti mosquito that spreads the Zika, chikungunya, and dengue viruses. Search for its breeding sites and destroy them.
A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
The time by the Ministry of Health and Wellness is 7:45.
Super Center, everything for your home and more.
Bring back the fun of shopping. Discover the best finds in every aisle of amazing items. For your kitchen, your living room, your bedroom, or any room, Azan Super Center has that perfect touch to elevate your space to the next level. Our team is ready to help you find what you are looking for you or someone else. So stop by our Crossroads store today and rediscover the fun of shopping.
Azan Super Center, it's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle.
This is Flow, Jamaica's fastest mobile network, as verified by Ookla. It's the result of a complete network rebuild, with more power backup to reduce outages and satellite backup for greater mobile stability. You can even make regular calls using Wi-Fi. Welcome to our new era of connectivity, and we're not stopping there. This is Flow, Jamaica's network.
You could win a return on your taxes with your Sagicor Bank Business Credit Card. Pay your taxes with your Sagicor Bank Business Credit Card at Tax Administration Jamaica or online for your chance to be one of 2 lucky winners of $500,000 cashback. Earn an entry for every $100,000 spent on taxes between February 27 and April 15. Plus, enjoy a 1-month payment holiday up to 55 days interest-free and unlimited reward points. Visit Sagicor.com to learn more. Conditions apply.
Get tiles and get creative with your floors, walls, and all the spaces in between. Our knowledgeable sales consultants are happy to help create your beautiful finish with the latest designs in first quality porcelain, wood look, vinyl, mosaics, natural stones, and countertops. At Creative, you will get every tile you need for your residential or commercial projects. Creative Building Finishes, your one-stop shop for everything tiles. Visit our showroom at 5 Red Hills Road or call 876-929-5553. Get tiles, get creative.
Everybody want to see a country right now. One thing about Jamaicans, we might have differences, but we know when something is good for all of us. And when we work together against crime and violence, we are stronger than ever. And that's how we know the Citizen Security Plan can work.
That one and CSP.
The Citizen Security Plan is an initiative of the Ministry of National Security in partnership with the European Union. It's an all-of-government effort to create safer streets and build stronger communities. Go to mns.gov.jm to learn how you can play your part.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVMTV.
So much more than entertainment.
back, ladies and gentlemen. Sunrise in Bloom. We're so glad to always have you with us, and it is our pleasure to serve you each and every morning. Now, in the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa, another story has been unfolding quietly in Jamaica's natural environment. Some of the island's delicate orchid habitats have also been affected, including those that support rare species found nowhere else in the world. But where nature faces challenges, there's always resilience and renewal.
Well, the Jamaica Orchid Society is highlighting that spirit with its upcoming spring show themed Orchid Rebirth. It's celebrating conservation, restoration, and the beauty of these uniquely Jamaican plants. So joining us to tell us more, we have the president of the Jamaica Orchid Society, Jeremy White.
Good
Jeremy,
morning,
good morning.
How are you? Is that our orchid voice? You like it?
We try we're doing that's our orchid voice.
Orchid voice.
Excellent. Thank you very much for having me
So
this
nice to have you on the show.
So
Great.
Thank you very much.
Beautiful.
Well, tell us, you've been here before.
Yes.
Well, I did not know that the passage of Hurricane Melissa had a particularly devastating impact on orchids in Jamaica. Explain what happened.
Okay, so as you are aware, the hurricane affected the western end of the island predominantly, and there are a number of orchid species that for whom the habitat is in western Jamaica. Most Jamaican orchids are epiphytic, which mean that they grow on trees. They're not parasitic, they're epiphytic, they grow on trees largely for support. So to the extent that the hurricane devastated the forested areas in western Jamaica, that exposed the orchids to direct sunlight and in fact removed, in large cases, branches and trees in general.
That they need for support.
Absolutely, that they need for support. So that has had a significant effect. And there are a number of orchids, approximately 230 orchid species in Jamaica. Of that number, approximately 30% are endemic, meaning they're found nowhere else in the world.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And there are a few orchid species, one in particular, Brotonia negrilensis, that's only found in Western Jamaica. So not only is it only found in Jamaica, it's only found in Western Jamaica. So there's been a lot of discussion, a lot of interest as to how significant the habitat for Brotonia negrilensis has in fact fared during this particular period, and there's a lot of work and discussion about that.
So what is your organization doing to reintegrate, to replant, and to get these species back up and running? And how can we also help? Because many people, we love orchids. I remember at Merle Grove High School, my alma mater, there was an orchid patch, and only sixth formers were allowed to walk through the orchid way. And that was a way, I guess, to aspire to be a sixth former, right? So lower school was not allowed to walk through the orchid patch, only sixth formers. And so I have a very positive love and affinity for orchids, right?
Excellent.
So how can we help to rebuild, and how is this function going to help us to, get the species go up and running again?
Well, as it relates to those particular habitats, the key thing is the restoration of the forested areas. This is one of the reasons, for example, why the Relief Project announced by Honorable Minister Matthew Samuda, which seeks to rehabilitate a number of the forested areas which have been so negatively impacted by Hurricane Melissa, why there's such significant support from the Jamaica Orchid Society, because the key thing is have those forested areas rejuvenated and replenished. That's absolutely critical, and we're very happy that the government has in fact initiated this particular project, because we see that as critical, because you need that forested stock.
The flora and the fauna of our country, very
absolutely,
important.
on which the orchids would be replenished. So that's one key thing. There's also a need to approach this scientifically, to go into the area, to have a look at the areas where that might have been most significantly impacted. The orchids appear in certain colonies, groups in various areas, and there's a bit of scientific work that needs to be done to determine that. And then there's probably going to be plain old, if possible, getting seedlings and trying to affix the seedlings to those trees once the forested areas are actually regenerated and rejuvenated.
So is it that we can't do anything now in the short term? It's a waiting process?
It's a waiting process to a certain extent as it relates to the rejuvenation and replenishment of the forested areas, but there's still a bit we can do to do the assessment, because whereas we have a broad view of what the impact is, there's a need to map the areas that we know would have been where particular colonies of particular orchid species would be, to map that directly to the areas which have been most significantly impacted.
How long do orchids normally take to grow?
Wow. Orchids can take as long as 3, 4, 5, 6 years, depending on the species, between germinating and flowering. Wow. Yeah.
That's so expensive.
Absolutely. So orchids do take a long while to get from germination, relatively speaking, to flowering. So that is in part one of the critical considerations if you're going to replenish orchids in the wild.
So, what are some of the things that we maybe can do? The ordinary Jamaican, I mean, if there are persons in Western Jamaica who they do see, some of the impacts, and maybe they see, is it that can they take them into their home and take care of them in a bid to reintroduce them, or is it just no?
Not really. I mean, if you have individuals in Western Jamaica who are able to identify orchids in areas where there's been significant habitat destruction, and you see orchids growing on trees which are exposed, and you can see signs of light stress that the orchid is actually burning. Yeah, a case like that, it may make sense for you to take the orchid into your home or into an area that is more in line with the kind of environment that the orchid would have grown in. But generally speaking, if they're in a habitat, you would leave them unless you see the direct sign of stress that I've indicated. Yeah.
Well, talk to us about the spring show.
Absolutely.
Because I know there are going to be lots of orchids on display. I love this yellow one right here. This white one there looks so immaculate. And of course, I love the purple. Oh, you know what I mean? Yes. No, the month of March. We'll call it purple, Dennis.
Okay.
Fortis, good morning. Right. So talk to me about the spring show. When will it be held and where?
Right.
And how can we be a part of it this year?
Absolutely. So the Jamaica Orchid Society Spring Show is the premier horticultural event in the country, and this year it will be held March the 21st, Saturday, March the 21st, and Sunday, March the 22nd.
Nice.
It's an AOS sanctioned show, which means that the show is being mounted and is being exhibited and judged under the sanction or the rules of the American Orchid Society. So it has that international benchmark as we generally have, and as you can see, our exhibits are going to be stunning. Speaking about Western Jamaica and also on the North Coast, we're going to have our sister societies, the Orchid Orchid Society and the Montego Bay Orchid Club. I thought I'd mention them because that's a sign of resilience. They were most significantly impacted, and they're going to be exhibiting. So, so a big shout out to our sister societies in Western Jamaica and on the North Coast as well.
Where can we get tickets?
Sorry?
Where can we get tickets?
You can get tickets from Evergrow or from any member of the Orchid Society.
Hi, Evergrow.
Tickets are $1,000. We've kept it just as it's been for many years. Our Orchid Society show is an event. So there's a show, obviously, with exhibits, but we're going to have close to 52 vendors selling a variety of orchids, ornamental plants, jewelry, art and craft, food. We're going to have seminars and workshops to teach persons how to flower orchids, how to grow them, how to keep them alive, how to bring them.
I think I should go.
I was about to say how to keep them alive.
Absolutely. There'll be a membership desk, so you can become a member of the Jamaica Orchid Society if you're not yet a member. Very easy to become a member. It's only $2,000 for the year. And that's where you really learn how to grow orchids, because you have this wealth of expertise that is resident within the Orchid Society that is really invaluable to whether you are a beginner, an intermediate, or an advanced grower, that's absolutely critical. So that's also a shout out
Good morning to Marcia
of the Jamaica Orchid
McKenzie.
Society.
She has an amazing orchid collection.
Yes.
I have gifted her a few because I know she loves them.
I love them too, and when I get them,
so good with orchids.
Well, I need to talk to her, and I need to go to the show because
Absolutely,
my husband buys them a lot, and like I feel some type of way when we see them at the I mean, I said, when my father know.
No, but you need to go to the show and learn how to.
I know,
how to
because
keep them alive.
Absolutely.
He buys them, and they look so pretty, and it just start. I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing wrong? I don't know.
And they're not as difficult as you may have heard.
Yes.
To grow, to cultivate, to keep alive. And if you come to the show, we'll have sessions that will teach you how to do that, how to get them to flow.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you so very much.
Absolutely.
All the best. And please, guys, make sure it's a family affair. It's a family show. So if you can go, take your family and go and learn how to orchid, all right?
Absolutely.
That has been Sunrise in Bloom with our guest this morning, Jeremy White, president of the Jamaica Orchid Society. And guess
That's a
what?
show. Look at that.
That's a show. Can you believe it?
Wow.
Time waits for no man or woman, right? And again, happy International Women's Day belatedly to all the women in the world.
All right, we'd like to announce that one of our CVM production crew members found the card holder with an ID and, among other things,